Good morning, everybody. In all admittance, I wasn't really ready to get up this morning. I was up late listening to my mentor's training stuff and everything, and did not want to get up this morning. I was up and down last night because my leg was just hurting. My leg was just hurting really, really bad. So I could not sleep very well because I don't know. It was just throbbing and hurting and not feeling good, and I couldn't get comfortable. And it just had like this burning sensation in it, and just a numbness and this and that, and I was just like, ugh. So I had a lot of frustration around my whole leg issues last night, and then not getting to bed until after midnight, I think it was, and getting up earlier, and I was just like, oh my goodness. And I laid there this morning, and I was having a conversation with my leg and feeling really, really frustrated. And then I remembered, oh my goodness, I need to do my gratitudes before I get up. So I was laying there and I was trying to do my gratitudes, and I think I came up with like 2 things. And then I just couldn't come up with any more. I'm laying there, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, you had a fantastic day yesterday, and all in all this different stuff going on. But all in all, everything's going really, really good in the moment, like in my present moment. Everything's great. There's been some real shit that's gone down in the last couple weeks, but right now in this moment, everything's really, really great. And I was just feeling like, I don't know, I think I still got a little bit of this vibe going on, and I don't know if it's a poor me or just, I don't know, maybe it's just the physical pain of being injured that's getting to me this morning or something, because it was kind of bugging me yesterday about the kind of throbbing. But then I don't know, I think maybe I'm just tired. So with that said, hey, good morning, Addison. Good morning, Michael. Just ignoring people this morning, I guess. I'm saying hello, that is. But with that said, I was, then making coffee and thinking about things. And normally in the mornings when I wake up and I do my morning gratitudes, I just have this, I don't know, I just have just a really good feeling and sensation and positive flow and all this different stuff. But morning, Patrick. But then this morning I was just kind of struggling with the gratitudes, and from that I started just feeling, I don't even know what the word is, and to make me speechless is kind of a difficult thing to do, but I just had this like overwhelming feeling of not being good enough this morning. I'll just put it like that. I definitely have like worthiness issues kind of coming up, and I was feeling almost on the line of just this feeling of like I like this hesitation inside myself, this feeling of, oh my goodness, maybe I'm not good enough to do this, maybe I'm not good enough to do that. And I started worrying about like some stupid bill stuff that's kind of come up through the last couple weeks, and comments between me and my ex now, and all this different stuff. And I was just like, all this like, I don't know, like feelings around that. And I was just like, oh my goodness, I'm definitely feeling reservation, hesitation, fear, concern, worry, and it's all stemming, if I really, really dig down into it, it's really coming from this feeling of, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy of having the life that I want, the life that I want to provide for my children, for myself, for the people that I love, and just to be able to live in general. And I was just really getting into like that feeling. I mean, like I'm brushing my teeth and this is what was going through my head. Now we're talking about seconds here, but I had time to process them while walking down the stairs and making coffee and thinking about it. And yes, there's definitely there's this sensation there, and we'll see what I do with it throughout the day, because it's just a recognizing of, in the moment, what kind of is coming up, and some fear and concern around that. But we'll see how that kind of comes out in the day, and what goes on with that, and how I choose to change that vibration from what is wanting to be like a lower vibration than what I definitely want for my day, into a higher vibration. And I'm pretty certain that by the time I finish my coffee, and I finish this conscious coffee, I'm going to be vibrating and going, whoa, like that, because normally I come off of conscious coffee and I'm just like, I'm speaking quicker, and I feel lighter, and I feel more enthusiastic, and more on point and purpose, and full of heart and soul than like sometimes when I first kind of get started, and I feel like I'm like, oh, how's the day going to go? What's going on? So obviously, today's topic then is going to circulate around everybody's favorite topic of worthiness today. So it's just like, there you go. That's what God has proclaimed for us to speak on today. And I can't remember exactly what I titled, because I can't see the title on my phone, but I believe I titled it something like these are the things that you really want. So here you go. These are the things that you really want. And my whole thing this morning about like this concern and lack of worthiness and stuff that's kind of coming up, when I really tap in and I am paying attention to, it's this lack of worthiness, it's this lack of this uncertainty of if I'm good enough, if I have enough skill, enough ability, enough, if people will support me enough, like in the essence of, like, will I get my videos done and be good enough in my videos? Will my writing be good enough? Will my coaching be good enough? Will I be creative enough to create content, to create the next program, the next course, the next this, the next that? And the truth is probably partly coming up because I watched like 3 of my mentor's videos last night, and her trainings and Q&As and everything, and watching her and just going, will I ever be good enough to just do that, to be able to have that, to be able to experience that, to be able to speak that truth? And as I'm saying this, I'm like, you dumbass, right? Like, you're doing it right now. You're doing it right now. It's all okay. You're just stuck in this low vibe of the moment. And I know that. But I know what I want, right? So part of what I teach, and anybody who knows me, is that I'm always preaching and teaching about journaling what you want, and getting certainty, and gaining certainty, and moving forward in certainty. And I love the word certainty, right? Because it's about certainty. It's not just about we use the word faith, or we use the word hope, and those words kind of make it where we go, yeah, I hope that I can have that someday. So there's a lot of resistance, a lot of doubt in that statement of, I hope I can have that. There's nothing wrong. I'm not a big fan of the word hope because of that right there, because it's kind of got that negative, that resistance to it. And I know that in creation work, in manifesting the life that we want, and having things line up the way we want, and have, basically God reorchestrate the universe for our needs, our wants, our desires, we can't do that when we have the resistance of doubt in there. And the word like doing like, I hope I have that someday. Well, that's a humongous, it's like more 90% I'm not going to have it than 90% I'm going to have it. And then we talk about, well, yeah, I have the faith that that's going to happen. Yeah, I do. But you hear that tone in there of, yeah, I've got the faith that that's going to happen. I love the word faith. I believe in operating in a state of faith and in moving forward in faith. But it's a commanding faith that needs to happen instead of I have faith around that, because when we have that tone of a resistance, of fear, of doubt, where actually that is where we're coming from, is that vibrational space of doubt and resistance versus, no, I'm fucking damn certain that this is the way it's going to happen. This is exactly the way it's going to happen. Boop, 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 boop. And, and yes, everything will be fine. Yes, I will get that job. Yes, I will have that house. Yes, this is exactly the way, like my body, I am going to be healed. I am going to have this kind of relationships in my life. I am going to do this. I am going to do that. Boom, 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 boom. Certainty, definition of certainty, and just really keeping on exactly that right there. Can be really hard to do when we have, like these little worthiness issues coming up, right? Coffee time. I need to take a break. Maybe one more sip. My throat is a little bit dry this morning. But to have that certainty, and when we look at the things that we really, really want, what happens when we really touch in and say, this is what I want. This is what my heart, my soul desires. This is where I'm being led right here. We freak the fuck out. That's what happens. We freak the fuck out because our soul thinks so much bigger, so much grander than what our little teeny tiny ego brain does, that we go, holy shit, there's no way that I can want that. There's no way that I can have that. And then what comes up? Our worthiness issues. We have all these worthiness issues coming up, and we're like, like that. Oh my gosh, no way. There's no way I can make that happen. There's da 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 da. So we get into this like internal war in ourselves, because what's going on is that we're having these worthiness issues. So our ego is just basically picks up the ego bat and just starts beating the crap out of us and says, no, you can't do that. No, you're not good enough. No, you're not strong enough. No, you're not smart enough. No, you're not good looking enough. No, you're not healthy enough. No, you're not, this, you're not that, blah, blah, blah. You're not lovable. You're not what you pick, whatever your shit is, basically. Fill in the blank with your shit right there. And then examine what's going on with the ego and it picking up its ego bat for you, because that's exactly what that is. And then on the other side of it, you have this feeling of, I'm never going to be happy if I don't just take this leap. I'm never going to be happy if I don't stand up and push through myself. There's this burning desire down here in our core that is just saying, no, I deserve more. I want more. I can have that. I do deserve that. That's the path that I want to take. But then we go, and it's like panic attack, right? So we have like this little spiritual, emotional, and maybe even actual panic attack kind of kick in there, because these are the things that we really want. How can you tell if, and here's really truly where I'm going with it, is that I've noticed that the things that I really want, they number one, scare the shit out of me the most. They definitely do. They make me just want to hyperventilate into a paper bag and just because it means that I have to. It means that I have to really become myself. And let me say that again. The things that scare me the most make me want to hyperventilate into a bag, right? Because they make me become myself the most. And that's truly, truly the case for any of us, is that when those things that we were born to do come up, we have such resistance, and it comes out in fear, it comes out in worthiness, it comes out in all these different things. And that is exactly where we need to go. Exactly where we need to go. Where our most, to maximize our joy, to maximize our bliss, our orgasm, our full potential, to really truly have what I call like that fuck yes life, is really about leaning in and having the certainty to step forward on that path of becoming even more of who we are. Because these are the things that we really do want. These are the things that we really are supposed to have. These are the things that really do want to be called into our life, that are there, that are begging us to say, no, take us, create us, make us, birth us through your life, through your essence, through your presence, through your experience. Bring that into the world, because you're the only one who can do it. You're the only one that can really, truly create those things in the way that they need to be showing up in our world, in this experience, this school of life, right? So it's like only you can do that. Yes, there's plenty of similar ideas. Yes, God plants eggs in multiple heads at the same time to get things going. But here's the reality. Even if you and I have the exact same idea and we both act on it and we both drive forward on it and make it happen, it's going to actually come out as two completely different experiences, two completely different ideas, and two completely different results, even if they are similar in nature, in their foundation, in the basic thought, in the basic thing that we're trying to achieve, can be similar, but we're going to provide a different experience for anybody that is touched by that. And it is there mostly, and here's the thing, just like I was talking about yesterday, and I always bring it back to the self, because ultimately doing work for, doing our internal work, wow, birds chasing each other, doing our internal work and really getting right with the fact that it really is all about me. There you go. It's all about me. It's all about you. Your world's all about you. My world's all about me. And we really are the center of it. And that is something that we have kind of trained out of us. Sorry, my leg is just not cooperating this morning. Not cooperating. Hold on. I'm trying to brace. Creating a brace out of pillow cushions. At least trying. Hold on. Okay. This morning's one of those days that I feel like just amputate that shit off. Give me a prosthetic. We'll make it a sexy one. Maybe get some like cool ass tattoos on the prosthetic, and I'll just work that shit. No, not really. But but I have had that thought. I have had that thought. It's like, I could have the Barbie doll leg, and it could be like the perfect leg, and it could be all like doing this and doing that, and I could have really some cool, I don't know, some cool shit on there, but not really. It wouldn't be really fun. And hiking and ziplining and snorkeling and scuba diving, and probably want to still jump out of an airplane sometime this year potentially, or early next year with my oldest son, and I don't think that's gonna go so well with a prosthetic leg. So, and it's not that bad of an injury. My knee's blown out. It's not like I need my leg removed. But anyway, sorry, sidetrack, squirrel moment. I do that a lot. So getting into those things that we really, really want, and to achieve them, right? Even though we might have the exact same idea, and here's how I know that this is absolutely true as far as coming back to you. You and I could have the exact same idea. We could both move forward on it. We could both create it. We could both manifest it into this world. We could both, let's say it's something that we both want to sell, something that, a talent that we both have. That whole thing. I know that it is absolutely 100% accurate that I could create it and you could create it, and we could come into the world and we could birth this thing into the world, and we could show up together. We could stand right next to each other, and we can make our offering right next to each other, and it's actually going to be better, because now we're going to actually help even more people. Because, and here's where I know, for years, working with the metaphysical communities and in multiple different states. I'm born and raised in California and part of the metaphysical community there, and then moving to Seattle and working with the metaphysical community up in Washington and Seattle and Redmond and Kirkland and all over the area up there, and just loving it. And then coming here to Texas 10 years ago now, and getting involved with the metaphysical community here, the one thing that I've always like been really, really frustrated with is that in such a beautiful community of beautiful light beings and open-heartedness and connection and love and all this fucking amazingness, there's also been this scarcity sensation with fellow practitioners that I've run into for years, and for many years I was caught up in it. I mean, I spent all of my 20s and my 30s, a lot of my, well, not really all of my 30s, but probably like 2 or 3 years in my 30s, definitely all in my 20s, caught up in this experience of that if you have it, then I can't have it, and there's no room for us to both have it and have it similar and work together and share and do this and do that. And then when I moved to Texas about 10 years ago, I made a commitment to myself after I got through that couple of years of getting caught up in that scarcity mentality in my local metaphysical community, because I went out and I started working with different people, and I went to some different functions around the area, and some of those people are still in my life, and it's so beautiful to watch those people like just blossom and grow and create and all this different stuff, and to see that, you know, yes, we can all be on this similar path and we can all be sharing, and there's plenty of room for all of us. And I took on this mentality years ago that there was more than enough with plenty left over, and I write that in my journal every single day, and I mean that in every single way, as far as like there's more than enough with plenty left over money, there's more than enough with plenty left over of people to help, of people to share with, of all this stuff to do. And I really started adapting that into my world, because with that, my worthiness also grew, because I started to see that I could share my message and I could help support other people's messages, even if their message was similar, to the point that I started you could say, I trained my competition. I started training my competition. So I have now fellow practitioners and coaches in the area that I love and adore and I support, that do similar work as me, and they're in my competition. They're my competition. They're not my competition. And yeah, here comes Addison. She's like flashing the hearts on there because, well, she's my competition. Okay, so she's one of my competitors, local competitors in the area, because she's, you know, doing her thing, and she has incredible coaching, and we do workshops together, and we do all this different stuff. So it could be perceived as like, well, why do you want to help market her stuff? Why do you want to do this? How can you support her? Because you guys have such similar belief structures and different things, and you're, you know, well, because she's a fucking different person than me, and her energy is different than mine, and the people that are going to be attracted to her are most likely not going to be attracted to me for whatever reason, or maybe we end up flopping out clients all the time. Like, I'll get a client and I'll say, this is not the right client for me. You need to go to Addison, you need to go to Kim, you need to go to Jessica, you need to go here, you need to go there. So I have now this network of people that I can refer off to, and I don't look at them as competition. I look at them as my support, because the reality is that I'm not right for everybody. Or maybe I'm right for a lot of people, but I'm not right in a one-on-one capacity for everybody. Some people need to just watch my Conscious Coffee. Some people just need to take my courses, and I can support there, but they need that one-on-one from somebody else. And, you know, sometimes people just, for whatever reason, it's just not lining up. The things that, you know, like I could have consistently, and what I see like in community out there a lot of different times is that so many people get caught up into this is mine, and I'm the only one, that there's not enough, and I don't want to share, and I don't want to refer, and I don't want to, just because I'm going to lose, which is that scarcity mentality, which comes back to worthiness. Comes back to that worthiness of, I'm not good enough, there's not enough for me, I don't know if I can do this, blah 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 blah, all this different stuff, right? Because the more you step into the fact that you are fucking worthy to have exactly the life that you want, to be the person that you want, to really open up and take in everything that God wants to birth through you, to share through you, all of that worthiness is really there. And the more you step into that, the more open you can be in your sharing and in your connecting and in your ability to just let things flow where they need to flow, versus trying to control it all and force it to funnel through just this right here. And yeah, so there's that little worthiness rant. And yeah, I went off topic, on topic, all over the place there. But it is something, because I know that I have like a lot of the people that I coach and teach these days are fellow coaches, teachers, therapists, counselors, ministers, practitioners of, different faiths, different belief structures, all this other stuff, but people who are out there helping other people. And my message to anybody who's watching, whether it is a small practice that you're just starting and you're just like sticking your big toe in the water and you're just checking it out, like, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know, and maybe, like, it doesn't even matter really what it is. If you're looking at some sort of business for self that you want to birth and that you want to create, and you're sticking your toe in it, realize that yes, you want to dominate your industry in an essence of like, you want to be present in that industry, you want to move forward, you want to make your stand. And I always, like, just last night I told us, and I said, oh, awesome, you're an expert in your field. And it's just like, I'm like, you're an expert, because she was telling me about this whole overview of, like, she's really reworking a whole bunch of stuff and just transforming and really stepping into herself, and it's beautiful to watch. My whole comment was like, you're now an expert in your field. And that comment right there, it's like, it's true, because we have to own that we are an expert, no matter what that is. If you're a coach, a minister, if you're just, if you're a photographer, if you're a counselor, if you're a music teacher, I don't care what the fuck your industry is, claim your expertise. Be that expert in your field. And that is not saying that you have to say, I'm an expert in my field, but you need to say, I'm an expert in my field, okay? And that's like boom, you gotta like buy it. You gotta buy your own bullshit in that moment, and you gotta make that happen right there, that you're just like, I'm an expert in my own field, damn it, I am. Because that's that energy that it's gonna come out, and it's just gonna be there, and you're gonna be like, yes, now you've got a little bit more certainty, a little bit more oomph going on that front side, and you're commanding that to happen. You're commanding for people to see you as an expert. You're commanding for people to listen, to hear, to experience you in an expert capacity versus, oh, I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm just putting my toe in the water right now. I'm just going to kind of see how it goes. All right, if you're going to just fucking put your toe in the water and just kind of see how it goes, I can tell you how it's going to go. You're going to sink. You're going to sink. You're not going to swim. You're just going to sink, and just give it up right now. Go find something else that maybe you feel a little bit more structured on. And actually, that's a bunch of bullshit, because that's just like the ego was just picking up the bat and was hitting you there and saying that you're not worthy, you're not this, you're not that, and you let that ego go and crash you down, basically, and just like it completely brought you down there. And what you need to do in those moments is that if it's something that your heart and your soul is really pushing for, if this is something that you really want, right, like the title of this whole conscious coffee, the things that you really want, if it's something that you really fucking want, realize that the ego is going to come up and it's going to try to sabotage you, and it's going to say, oh no, let's just test drive it. Oh no, let's just do that. Oh no, well, we need to go get this education. Oh no, well, we need to go do that. We need to go do this. It's going to try to help you create procrastination. Not that any of us need help procrastinating. I know I certainly don't. I'm great at it all by myself, but my ego always steps in and says, like, just yesterday I procrastinated to the point that the one thing that I knew that I really needed to get done, guess what? I still did not get it done. It's on my list of things to do today, and I have a nice amount of things that I need to do prior to doing that one thing. I was like, but I mean, I got like a whole shitload of stuff done yesterday because I was procrastinating around this one little thing. And that's the ego coming in and saying, well, because why? there is this doubt, there is this lack of worthiness, there is this fear of actually stepping in and coming into what? Alignment with self. And when we really get right down to it, that's what it's all about, is coming into alignment of self. And like I said a couple times already in this conscious coffee, I know it's gone on and on about it yesterday and I think the day before too, and even in my little vlogs, is that, it's really just about and being more of me, just be more of you, step into you, get more into alignment with you, really let you out, claim who you are, claim your life, claim who you are, step into it, and go from there, and really just let the messages, the things that you want, come in. And the way you do that is to get into alignment to that and witness where the ego's rising up. Witness that when you have these doubtful thoughts, when you have fear, when you wake up in the mood that I woke up in, and just that, like, that reservation, that fear, that uncertainty, to see it for what it is, that it's not truly you. It's not truly you. That was not me this morning. My soul, my spirit, it knows exactly what it wants, and it wants a lot, and it knows exactly how to get it, and it just wants, all it's looking for is the channel for me to open and receive the messages and stay in alignment and in tune to receiving the 1, 2, 3s, and not trying to figure out the how of doing it right now, but just to open up to it and receive it and allow it to manifest through me, and instead of trying to go, how am I, physical me, going to go and make this happen? Because the reality is that me, this physical body here with its ego thoughts and its ego fears and all this different stuff, and the logical brain isn't going to figure shit out. It isn't. What's going to figure shit out is my heart, is my soul, and getting into alignment to that. And it's this, I'm using myself here, but here's the reality. It's the exact same message for you, which is why I'm doing this, right? I'm sharing it with you, I'm sharing it with me. It's all about us, and the message is the same, and it doesn't matter what you're looking at or what you're trying to achieve, or where you're feeling doubt, reservation, fear around, where the lack of worthiness has you by the balls, basically. It does not matter what those topics are. The answer to overcoming that and opening up to the life that you want, to having the things that you really truly want, right? To having that fuck yes life, as I call it. And on that note, I do have a free course out right now that is all on attaining the fuck yes life. So that's, grab that. I'll make sure that gets on here. But that fuck yes life, and it's really just about getting into alignment to who you are and claiming it, and just claiming it, and knowing that the things that scare you, the shit out of you the most, are exactly the things that want to be birthed through you, and only you can create them the way they need to come through in this moment, and to touch not only your life but the lives of others, and to make this world. And it doesn't, and you could say, yeah, well, Kendall, but I'm not out there, I'm not a coach, I'm not an educator, I'm not a preacher, a teacher, I'm not out in the public eye, I'm not doing this, I'm just a construction worker, I'm just a this, I'm just a that, I'm not really like affecting the world, I don't have this community of people, I'm not out there sharing. Bullshit. If you're breathing, if you're talking, if you wake up in the morning and you come in contact with just one person today, then you are affecting this world. You are affecting this world. And do not belittle your ripple that you have, because the ripple that you make in contact to just that one person, even if it's just the freaking person that knocks on your door and you never left your house, or you could talk to one person on social media or some way, if you came in contact with one person every single day, you are casting a pebble into the ocean of life, and you are causing a ripple effect out there, and you are causing change potentially across the board, because that contact with that one person, the words that you are sharing, the things that you are doing, has an impact, has a meaning, has a message for this world, and for so many people that you will never meet, that you will never know. Your impact is being made. So with that, realize that God is using you. God is using you for your messages, for your voice, for your heart, for your soul, for the things that only you can bring into this world. So get into alignment to it. Get into alignment with your heart. Get into alignment with your soul. Pay attention to the things that you really do want, because these things really do want you. Like I always say, the things that you desire them are also desire you. It's very, very true. They are out there. There's a reason why you're wanting them, because they are there. They are ready for you to claim them, to take them, to make them, to create them, to experience them, to share them. They're there. They want you. But it is only up to you to open up and receive them, and just stop fucking procrastinating about it and open up to the life that you want. Stop doubting yourself. And I know that I'm like, right now I'm like, oh, she's gone on and on. It sounds so like, just stop, right? It's like here's my coffee cup and I set it down, voila, I stopped. This is a very simplified version of what needs to happen, but it's true. Just stop doubting, start receiving. Go forth, young man, go forth, young woman, move forward, and go. Claim your life, claim the things that you want, own them, open up to them, and as always, stop existing and start living. Catch you guys tomorrow morning.